So guys, before we get on to today's bite-sized review video, if you haven't already, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. We're doing daily content at the moment, as you've seen. But let's get on to today's video, which is going to be the Hexmark Destroyer. $35 in the US or £21 in the UK. You get one single model and it's an elite selection from the Necron Codex. Now he is going to be a character model, so he does have the option of taking relics, option of taking warlord traits. We'll go over some of those options later in this video. Now in fact, being a character model has its pros and cons. Now the pro is the fact that he is a character and you do need characters on the board to activate new battle round command protocols. If you don't have any characters, no more new protocols there. However, there is the con of having more characters on the tabletop, meaning your opponent can maybe choose assassination, and it's an easy target for assassination. But let's get onto the datasheet. He's got all the usual stuff, living metal command protocols, but he's also got the dimensional translocation ability, effectively known as Deep Strike. So from turn 2, he can come in anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches away from enemy models. This is going to be really nice when you're combining this with his actual weapons. Again, we'll go over that in a second. In fact, we may as well go on to that now. We'll talk about the abilities in a moment because it kind of links with the weapons themselves. So the weapons he actually carries, he's got 6 disintegrator pistols. All 6 at 18-inch range. Pistol 1, strength 6, -1 AP and 1 damage. So really useful against toughness 3 because you're wounding them on a 2+. You don't need that much AP. Not so much the power armor models with 2 wounds, they're not really the target here. Now going on to those abilities that link with these pistols, the first one is Inescapable Death. So you're effectively ignoring any modifiers to your ballistic skill, and also the opposing unit is not going to gain the benefits of light cover. In addition, you can fire Overwatch on a 2+ as opposed to a 6+. This is going to be really useful. Now the second ability is multi-threat elimination. So every time you do remove a model with your pistols, you get an additional shot. Now those additional shots cannot then generate more additional shots, but you can get up to 6 additional shots if you score perfectly with the hit rolls, wound rolls and removal of models. Then the final ability, which is of course Hardwired for Destruction ability, because he's a Destroyer Cult unit, he gets to reroll all hit rolls of a 1. So he's already hitting on a 2+, rerolling the 1s, he barely misses. Now I just wanted to throw this relic in here because if you are taking Hexmark Destroyer, you may as well take this relic. I have already mentioned it in the previous video, but it's the Gauntlet of the Conflagrator, and the Hexmark Destroyer is the best unit to take this relic with. So this relic is a pistol, so it can be fired alongside the 6 pistol shots he's got, but you want to be using the relic first because you don't have to roll to hit for it, you don't have to roll to wound for it, you just roll a dice for the amount of models in the enemy unit. Any 6s will inflict a mortal wound. So you don't want to be using your pistols first, removing models and then having less dice to play with the relic. So use the relic first and then start firing your pistols. Now what's nice about both the pistols and this relic is the fact that they can be shot into engagement range. Really useful, and yeah, you're going to be getting rid of those toughness 3 units in a flash. Now a little bit of synergy for you, taking a Canoptic Plasma Sight for just 15 points is definitely worth looking into, because you can then double tap on behind enemy lines, because the Plasma Sight has the Deep Strike ability, the Hexmark Destroyer has a Deep Strike ability. There's only 2 single models that are coming in behind enemy lines, and you're going to be scoring that hopefully from turn 2 onwards. They're going to be quite difficult to pick out, especially if you've got a terrain feature or obscuring terrain in fact in front of the 2 models. Now optionally you can go in with the unit of Death Marks or Flayed Ones if you want to go a bit cheaper with them. Now the Death Marks do have a toughness value of a 5 and a 3+ armor save, as well as the actual snipers, but either of those units are going to provide the Hexmark Destroyer with a lookout Sir Bubble, so that the Hexmark Destroyer cannot be targeted at range, unless of course there's less than 3 models in that given unit. Now dynasty wise, you're looking at the Mephrit dynasty for the extra -1 AP at half range. However, he does not get the +3 inches because his pistol models and pistols do not gain the range. Now unfortunately, if you do come in from Deep Strike, you're going to be more than 9 inches away from enemy models, so you're not going to be 9 inches on the dot, so you're not within half range at that moment in time, so you won't get the additional -1 AP there. But he still should be doing a ton of work with the relic as well as his pistols. Now there is a stratagem worth mentioning here, which is the Arethic Interception stratagem for 1 command point, and it can be used on a Hyperspace Hunter, which the Hexmark Destroyers have that key word. So it's done in your opponent's movement phase, so not in your own turn, in your opponent's movement phase, when they're bringing in reinforcements within the end of their movement phase. So 2 things are going to happen when you use a stratagem. First of all, you're going to be bringing your model within 18 inches of that enemy unit that's coming in from reinforcements. Now, the Hexmark Destroyer unit doesn't have to necessarily be in strategic reserves, it could actually be a unit that's on the battlefield itself, so you can literally move your model within 18 inches of that enemy model, but more than 9 inches away from all other models. And then what you're going to be doing is, it's like as if it's your own shooting phase with the Hexmark Destroyer, and you're going to be shooting at that unit that just came in from reserves. Now of course, if it's not a toughness 3 unit with only 1 wound models, you're not likely going to be using this stratagem, But if it is, then yeah, go for it. You're going to be removing a ton of models, and the likelihood is maybe they make a charge on their own turn in their charge phase, but you've got a 2+ Overwatch, so you're going to remove quite a lot more models, especially if you're taking that relic as well. But other than that, guys, there's not really much else in terms of the synergy. Maybe one of the Destroyer Lords to be able to reroll wound rolls for 1. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you. Plus, those Destroyer Lords don't actually have the Deep Strike ability to actually meet your Hexmark Destroyer, unless they've got the Veil of Darkness, perhaps. In fact, that is another option for the Hexmark Destroyer, because he can take relics. If you're not taking the Gauntlet of the Conflagrator, you could give him the Veil of Darkness relic. He can pop in from Deep Strike, eliminate a unit in turn 2, then literally move to another area of the battlefield where there's another infantry unit for him to be taking shots at. But let's get onto the Planet 40k rating today for the Hexmark Destroyer. This one's a tricky one, but I'm going to be going with a Planet 40k rating of 3 stars.